Hey, if you're on here, you're watching the replay, say hello and tell me where you're from. I'm getting my computer set up for the real-time viewers. And there it is. Let's see if we're upside down. We're right side up, yay! Say hello and tell me where you're from. Okay. All right, so I'm Christy Darty. I call myself a creative coach because I like to give people encouragement on how to be creative and let them know they can do things that they didn't think that they could do. Hi, Linda. Welcome, everybody. So, I also teach hand lettering is like the thing that I teach most now. That's what everybody wants, so that's what I teach. And I teach about at least 50 women locally a month. Not just women, a few men, mostly women. And then I teach online as well. And starting this next week, I am going to do a membership group. And so that's really exciting. If you want to know more about that, I'm going to put the link in the comments. But while everybody's coming on, I'm just telling about the membership group that I'm excited about, that I'm starting. And actually, for the subscribers tonight, I've opened the doors early. And if anybody wants to join, you can click on the pinned comment and check out the details. But it is $27 a month, and you get all kinds of goodies with it as far as teachings and a community, and we're going to focus on the Lord and lots of good stuff. So check it out when you can. Hi, Susie. How are you today? Thanks for saying hi, Rose. Hi, Tina. All right, we have a good group on here tonight so far. Sunday night's either good or y'all are really interested in the iPad. What is it? Tell me what it is. If you'll go ahead and share, I'm going to share as well. There's a little plus button at the top right of my screen. It lets me share with people, and it has a list for me to invite, and that's the easiest way for me to do it from here. Besides sharing to everyone on my Facebook page, which is always a good idea because you never know who might be interested in something. And I had people share something with me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't know anybody that taught this. This is so cool. I want to know more about it. And I have heard so many people interested in learning how to use the iPad Pro with an Apple Pencil. And that's what we're going to talk about today. And I'm going to share one more place, and then I'm good to go. Share in a group, sharing on a, I want to share on my timeline. Okay, so I'm going to my, Am I not on Create with Christy right now? Am I on Create with Christy? I'm thinking I'm not. Oh well, we've already started. I'm just going to write, join us. Live on iPad lettering. Anyway, okay. Maybe I'm not, but it's all right. Just to make sure everybody knows that we're going live. Okay, y'all, so here it is. This is my iPad Pro. Now, there's a lot of different options out there, and I don't want you to think that you have to have exactly what I have, but I also don't want you to buy exactly what I have without searching all your other options. So I'm not an expert at this. I just can give you tips on what I have. Susie, come back when you can. Thank you. Have some good family time. I understand that. Hi, Jill. I am on Create with Christy. I don't know what happened. I guess I just shared to my own page. Thanks for telling me that. I feel better. Hi, Jill. I just said that. Thank you. Joni shared with your friends. Thank you. Hi, Wendy shared. Awesome. It blesses my business, and hopefully it blesses your friends. Procreate Clueless. Well, Annette, you get to see what we're doing tonight. This is really fun. Hi, Kelly. Hi, Pam, Darlene, Wendy, Carolina. Yes, from Trina's group. I remember that sweet name. Okay. Hey, everybody. Hi, Judy. So, it might look like a notebook to you, but it's actually my iPad. I love this cover. I think it's so cute. But there's my iPad inside. Isn't that fun? I haven't written my name on here. I want to do some hand lettering on there and make it look cute. And this is my pencil. No, it's an Apple Pencil. Sometimes I call it that. And the lid comes, and I'm just giving you, just because some people have no clue. I'm going to start from the beginning and not be too boring for those of you that know a lot about this, but enough to where some people, you know, can gather some information to see if this is something they might even be interested in. But this is an Apple pencil, okay? It's made by Apple. It says pencil on here with an apple. So maybe that's how you know if it's authentic. This is where it charges, and this is the lid. The lid's magnetic, okay? This is the first generation. They have updated it, and they have a whole new one, and I'm not getting involved in that right now because I actually bought 2 of these because I don't, long story. So I'm not ready to upgrade and all that. So this is just the generation 1. So if you go looking for one of the main differences in the new one is that it's magnetic and it sticks to the iPad from what I understand. And mine does not. So this is my case, and I'm just going to flip it over. And my pencil, my Apple Pencil just plugs in right here to charge, and that's it. I think it comes with a cord too. I just don't even know what I did with my cord because this is how I always charge it. It really doesn't take long. It's real easy to set up. It's just a setting in your iPad, and then you're good to go as far as your Apple Pencil. You have to connect it, like I said, in settings, and I won't go through all the details in that, but you know how you go to your settings to do stuff like that. So, the other thing to let you know for tonight is I'm using this app right here. It's called Procreate. The case is from Amazon, and it's actually in my Amazon shop. Hi, Beth. Let me see. I'm gonna give you I'm gonna give you that link real quick. And y'all, when you buy cases too, the other thing you have to be really careful of, and go into the bullet journaling section because that's where I put it. Hi, Julia. Hey. Okay. So Dawn, I'm replying to your message with my link to my Amazon shop that has that, this case in it. And it is, in fact, I'll just reply to everybody so everybody can see if they're interested, but, it won't be pinned, so you'll have to kind of go back and see it. But look in there. But make sure when you buy a case or anything like that, it fits the iPad that you're looking for. There's different size iPads. Mine is the 10.5, 10.5, and then there's some that are like, there's a 12 point something it's bigger, you know, and then there's a smaller one. So I don't even know if there's a smaller one anymore. This is closest to the traditional. It's not the smallest size. It's a little bit bigger. Okay. So basically I'm saying do your research and make sure that you know what you're getting into and you don't just randomly go buy things that don't work together. Like I said, if you have this, the new Apple Pencil will not work with this. I don't think. Wait, no. Don't listen to me. I'm not sure what all works together. All I know is that this iPad Pro and this Generation 1 pencil work together. Let's just keep it at that. But then go to Best Buy or go to someone who knows what they're talking about and ask them about details. So Procreate is the app that we're using. Do you see this black app? I'm going to pull it up to the camera. I thought I could make it bigger, but and then it's got this little kind of rainbow swirl thing in it. That is Procreate. I believe it's like $5-ish, and it's worth every penny. So I'm going to open it up. Here's all my folders, all my windows that I have. Thank y'all for sharing. I appreciate it. And just things that I've been working on. So if you've been following me this week, this is the 7 days of Facebook Lives that I've designed and then posted for y'all to look at. If you have been following me about my new membership group, you've seen this is the logo for that. That starts on next week. And y'all get an early sign up tonight if you're interested. And the link's down at the bottom if you want to know more about it. Okay, this is something I worked on yesterday. It's my scriptures for this coming week. If I want to replay, like do a little time lapse and I want to watch myself do it. And that's how sometimes y'all see where I post things that I made and it has the time lapse on there. So that's how that is. You can record that. You can bring in pictures in here. There's so many things you can do. Because we're on a limited time, I'm just going to kind of just do some basic stuff. And then it's kind of like let me just show you what it's all about. First time watcher, hey, welcome, Marcia. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're interested in this. Okay, good. All right, so there's lots and lots of information I can give you, but to make it really simple today, what I did first, let me go back. Let me start over, is I put the plus sign, and then I decided what size I want. And most of the time, I think You can create a custom size. I think I just put in a 8.5 by 11 size because I print stuff out all the time and that just makes it easier. The screen comes up like this. And then, I was just blowing lint off. Then you can take 2 fingers and squeeze, and then you can make it smaller or bigger, like that, okay? And some programs you can't do that, so I love that about this. If I want to, of course, I can change the direction of my picture, and I'll show you that in a little bit too later. But one of the first things I like to do is I like to, and since I've updated the app, so this is I don't know how new it is, but it's new to me. There's a drawing guide right here. Okay, and that's under Canvas, and I click on that, and then it makes, I don't know if you can see it, there's a grid. Now, it's going to be hard until I get some color on here, but there's a grid here that helps me get things lined up, okay? There's also layers over here, and this is a lot of information. If you guys are interested in me starting some kind of class on this, I'll just need to get feedback from you, and then I can go slower. Okay, so layer 1 is what we're starting with. So right now when I draw something, and just to give you a little kind of teaser of what it is there's the heart, okay? That's layer 1. If I draw something else, I open a new layer, and that's layer 2. And so if I want to get rid of layer number 1, it's easy to do, and layer 2 is still there. Okay? Is there a Procreate app for Android? I don't know, Christy. That's a good question. I have no idea. If anybody else knows, you could answer her, though. I just deleted both of those by hitting this back button. But I'm just going to go ahead and just play, and I'm going to let you watch me. And if there's any specific questions that I can answer right away that's not too detailed, I'm happy to do so. If I miss your comments, I may have to go back and watch them later. Sometimes when I'm doing my work, it's hard for me to be able to focus on the questions. Okay. There's a bunch of pens that it comes with, okay? First, there's sketching, there's pencils, and then there's ink pens. So let's say I want to do a brush pen. I'm going to click brush pen. And then I can start writing. So I'm writing here. What if I want to make that brush pen bigger? Then I can do that. So it's like I have a million bajillion pens. I'm checking on the lighting, y'all. You're going to look and see for your old iPad and see if they're available. Now make sure it's an iPad Pro. I don't think it works with the regular iPads. I think it has to be an iPad Pro. Okay, so I'm going to turn off this other light and see if that helps us be able to view, because I know the lighting is tricky on demonstrating. And I'm watching, the computer's delayed, so I'm watching it for a second to see what happens. Okay, we'll try this for a minute and see. Okay. So, if I want to use I'm going to make it a little bit smaller because this is tiny and this is a lot bigger than I want. You're already hooked? I know, Regina. It doesn't take much. The iPads are really expensive, but for me, I just loved it so much, and I went ahead and invested, and I haven't regretted it, but just so you know, that's better to see. Okay, thank you, Beth. All right. Okay, so there's that. Now, I'm going to go and I'm just going to play around some more. Here's a gel pen. And so if you look at this, it kind of writes like a gel pen. I don't know if y'all can tell, but how it kind of starts off strong and then it loses its ink. Then we can get over to painting. So if you want to paint something. If y'all have ever seen my scripture cards, I do a lot of my artwork with this. And see down here, I can put a layer on top of that. Let's do white. And then we can, let's see, write and take it back to the brush pen. Like that. Isn't that fun? Adobe, you have Adobe Sketch and Illustrator. You know what, Marcy, I don't use those programs, but the friends that I have that do, they feel like they have to have this too. This doesn't do, and I can't get too technical, but this doesn't make them into, you can't make it into I can't think of what it's called, where you make it in, oh, thank you, Pam, where you make it into like a, okay, I'm going to delete some of this stuff. And there's other ways to do that. I'm just doing it like this so I can start fresh. Okay. I'm going to have to think about it. It's like when you need to make a logo and it needs to be clear in the background or whatever, this does not do that. When you print it out, does it come out in color? Whatever's on the screen is what comes out when you print. Okay, so I'm going to start off I'm going to turn it this way. And y'all know my logo thing that I made that I showed you for the Be the Light class. So I'm going to kind of show you my thought process on that when I was designing it. So I kept playing with the word light because I knew I wanted that to be my title. And I was trying to figure out how do I tie it all in and make it look like it all belongs together. And so I just kind of sketched it and tried to look to see how I liked it. And of course it's not pretty at that time. And I started thinking about, okay, wouldn't it be cool if I had a light bulb coming right here? So I did that. And then I wanted to fill in Be the Light, so I kind of filled that in. Okay? So that's my first layer. That's my sketch. If I want to copy this, I can just make I can change the opacity so it's really, really light in the background. And if I make a new layer and I can copy it, but make it, prettier, just kind of see where I have everything positioned. I can move the positions really easy. That might be hard for y'all to see. I keep forgetting that you can't see stuff as good as me. Okay. I'm going to get rid of that background now. Where did they go? Okay, here we go. Okay, so you have to be in a layer. And I want a brush marker. And it's pressure sensitive, so when I press down, it's going to be thicker where I press down. So I'm pressing down. It's just like with hand lettering. When you press down hard, you're going to get a thicker stroke if you use brush markers. And this is a brush pen. So that's what's really cool about this, is it's pressure sensitive. Okay? One cool thing I can do is, say I want a shadow on this. I want to know if I turn my overhead light, if that helps off. Hold on, let me see. So I can actually copy this exact one. So I'm going to hit duplicate. And now I have two here. Okay? Is that lighting better? Can y'all tell? Then you can print it off or do whatever you want with it. Yeah, vector. Thank you, Kayla. Yeah, you can't vector with it. I don't think that's better. Okay, I'm going to turn this other light back on. So now that I've made and I'm sorry if I don't get y'all's, if I don't get to answer your comments right now. Okay, tell me. I'd turn that light back on so we'll see. So I'm taking what I just made a copy of, and I'm going to change the background color of it. I'm going to do I feel like y'all might not be able to see these light colors. Okay, and then I'm going to change the color here and fill the layer. And now, when I pull it over a little bit, see how I have that? Can y'all see that? Where I have that shadow? Turn this light on too and see if that helps. Okay, Marcia. Whatever you do with it, you can do a lot of things. Like I do a lot of digital art, digital prints, So like, I printed this out. But I also used it as a flyer to, send to people. You could do a birthday announcement. You could do, and you could send it, through the computer or whatever. There's just a lot of things you can do with it. For my Bible journaling class, my bullet journaling classes, I've been printing off different things like this. I designed it on the iPad, and then I printed it off and I put it in here. there's just so much you can do. What pen or brush did you use to write light? Anyway, so do y'all see though the shadow that I'm moving around, or is it too bright in here? I'm trying to get the lighting just right, and the lighting is not wanting to be just right. Hey, let's try a background. Let me do black as the background, see if that makes a difference. Let me see. I'm waiting on the... Is that better? We'll try that. Okay. What did you say? What pen did you say? What pen? What pen or brush should I use to write light? Oh, to write the word light. Okay, here we go. I use the brush pen. Now, there's different, like I can make it, the brush pen is like that, and then I can make it like that. It depends on the thickness that you use. Okay? All right. You can do all kinds of backgrounds. I think for this, can't y'all see the words better with the black background? Oh, how did I change the color in the duplicate? Okay. So on the duplicate, I think y'all, all the little details I'm going to have to get into at another time when I can, because there's so many people that don't know anything about it. I think they're just going to get completely more and more confused. So I'm just going to write and y'all watch. And I don't know. I just think it's going to be too confusing because I keep stopping to answer questions and I want to be able to write too. So, okay. I'm just going to keep showing y'all how I did Be the Light. And try to tell you as I go along. This is a brush marker. I'm going to change to draw to a mono line to draw this light bulb. Debbie, you really haven't missed anything. I know, Tina, it seems like maybe y'all get, okay, I'll take the grid off and see if that helps, because I don't really need it right now, I don't think. Yeah, there's so much that I could share with you, but there's no way I could share half of anything of what I've learned today. Okay, so I have started my L. I'm going to make that into light. I'm going to go back to that other brush. Thank y'all for sharing. Okay, so I made this eye kind of be like that to be the dot of the eye. That was my intentions. Okay, and then I want to fill in Be the Light somewhere. The program, Shelly, is Procreate, and no, it's like $5-ish, but it's worth every penny. It's like what I do everything on. Hi, Amanda. I know, Amanda. I'm sorry. I apologize right now. Joni, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how to answer that. I'm not sure. Somebody else might can. Okay. Now I'm going to draw inside here, but I'm going to make an extra layer. Not sure if y'all can see that or not. $9.99, the Procreate app. That might be what it's up to now. It's been a while, a couple of years since I bought mine. Can you use the pen with any iPad? No. As far as I understand, no. I believe it has to be an iPad Pro, unless things have changed. But back when I bought mine, I could not. Okay. Let's see. Let's pretend like I want to do a different background. We can just play and see what happens. This is a splotchy background. Oh, it's cloudy. Kind of has a smoky look. If you ever see my scripture cards, you can see that I did a lot of the backgrounds on here. But that's kind of neat. It's very therapeutic, y'all. I could just sit here and do this all day long. I know, Kristen, I know. I had some money I had saved back, and this was like, this is going to be my, like, special treat. And that's why I felt like I could invest in it. Okay, so let's try a different one. But that's always something you can look forward to. Save your money. Okay, there is a dry brush. One of my favorites is the oil paint. Love that. It looks like a real painting, doesn't it? Of course, I wouldn't be using all these colors together. But it's, look how you get the strokes going both ways. Okay, and here is, well, there's just everything. Watercolor, turpentine, everything. Different textures. I really like the spray paints. Those are fun. Neat. It is mesmerizing, isn't it? There's a different spray paint. Make it smaller. Then you can twist them, turn them. I have gotten some free brushes. I can't even, for me right now, I haven't even gotten to take advantage of all the brushes here, so I don't really know. I haven't gotten into buying any brushes yet, no. But down here I have, these are free ones that I've imported from other people. And I haven't even really used them. One thing I have used is the square and the circle. So here's charcoal. See that texture? Just go and make it bigger. Then if you want to change your background color, that's really easy too. Then you can really see what kind of colors look good together. Thank y'all so much for sharing. And if you don't change your brush, then you have what you had before. So you just go back and delete that. And then I'm going to go to get a different brush. And I'm going to change this to pink because I don't want it red. Oops. You can name stuff too. I was not trying to do that. So I just change that color. Oh, good, Krista. Oh my gosh, it's so fun. It is so fun. Okay, trying to think of what else to show y'all. So I showed you earlier about doing a shadow, and now that I've changed the background, I think it'll be better. Change it to black. So I'm going to scoot this over and see, there it is. Get it where you want it. And that gives it so much dimension. Doesn't that look good? Okay, I'll show you some of the other things that I've designed. Oh, well, I'll go back and show you. Okay, so I did do an oval around this. Make all of it. Let me see, I'm going to connect them and make them all. I'm going to put those two layers together. Oops. That one I don't need. Don't need that. Okay. Now I'm going to make this whole thing smaller. And if I want to expand it, I can. You just don't want it to look stretched. And that's something that a lot of people do that they don't realize it, but it just looks too stretched. But one way or the other, so you have to make sure it looks real balanced. But so I took a circle, and this is actually, they call it a brush. So I'm taking the circle brush, and I'm going to make a circle. So I just hit it once, and then I'm going to change it back because I'll just keep making circles if I don't. So there's that. Now I'm going to take this circle, and I want to use it to help make my oval. Okay. Now that circle is real pixelated, so I'm just going to trace it. I'm not going to use that actual one. So it's nice because you can use stuff, you know, to trace behind. And if you watch me, a lot of times I do the little hand-lettered looking doodly circle because it's going to end up looking like that anyway, and so I might as well make it be what it is. And it's easy to delete, so I don't have to worry about that. And see, that looks too messy for what I'm going for, so I'm going to erase that. And then I'm just going to be more careful about making my lines. What's cool is like right here you can see where these two connect. And it doesn't look good, so I'll just go back, take my eraser, I'll just erase it and make it look like it's one continuous line. Yes, you duplicate the first image. Yes, there's so many questions people have, and I just wish I had time to answer them, but if I do, I won't be able to do anything on here. So, yes, that's a good question. So, sorry if I don't answer y'all. I just can't get to everybody. Okay, so there's that. And then I'll get rid of that one in the back. And now, if I want to, let's say I want to color, I want that to be black. And some people might be like, oh no, your image went away. But remember, it's in layers, and if you do it right, you can change your layer and that'll pop back up. Does that make sense? But I always try to make new layers, because you can always add layers and put them together, but it's very hard to take them apart. So I made a scallop, and it's on a new layer. So I'm not worried about if it gets, if it goes over, in fact, I kind of want it to go over the top of this black, because I'm going to put it underneath. I'll show you right now. Since it's on a layer, I can put it underneath the black, and watch how these marks go underneath there. Do you see how they went away? Sorry, it's hot in here. I'd turn the fan on. Thank you, Rose. Thank you, Carolina. Oh, you're sweet, Lisa. Not really. Okay, and so if I keep going around and making these scallops, then I can color it in with one little swipe, and it'll color it all in the color I want it. And I'll show you what it looks like underneath there so you'll know. And I'm not taking my time to make beautiful scallops like I did when I was making my original creation. I don't know who plans on joining my Be the Light membership group, but I am planning on popping on there randomly and doing some little demos on this. So that'll be kind of fun. Okay, so I'll show you this. So I'm taking this color and I'm sliding it over and I'm dropping it. Oops. And that's what happens if you don't get it where you're supposed to get it. Okay, that means that something's not closed up. So let me delete this and delete this. It's not deleted forever. Okay, I can see that some of my lines aren't touching, and that might be why. Oop. Yep, if they're not touching, it's going to go outside. So there they are. That's my layers. Okay, and so let's say I think I want to make the black oval a little bit smaller. I could play with that. What if I don't like what I did? I can go back and move it to where it was. And then if I want to make a shadow behind the red, I'm going to do a white shadow behind the red. You see that white over here that popped up? Oops. See the white right there? It's pretty fun. Okay, and say I want to do some fun just embellishments, like I could do some dots around here. Oops, I got to make sure my layer's on top of everything so it shows up. Say I just want to do some dots. So, do you think we had a good turnout tonight because of the subject or because of the time? Do you think everybody wants to learn iPad lettering, or Sunday night's just a good time to go live? I know, Debbie, isn't it fun? Yeah, and lots and lots and lots to learn. But just don't be afraid to play. I mean, I've, self-taught myself so much, and I would get so frustrated at times and be like, oh my gosh, how do you do this? How do you do that? Sundays are great. Okay. I like the yellow on there. Okay, let's see. I'm going to go back to my original and see what I did there. So you can just get as wild as you want with it. This one, you can see that I did the straps in the back. I did a lot of a lot of detail. I don't know if you can see, but I have the stitching inside here. Got the little words. I've got the scripture reference. You can see right here where I did some of the accents and highlighting. And right here too. And then I made these things to make it look like it's shining. And you can see here that I did the shadowing. So there's a lot that went into this one. And it takes, I know it took me at least 2 hours, probably more than 2 hours to do this. So it goes by really fast. But, and I already had the one design today that I'm working on, so that's why it's not taking as long. The other one, it, took me forever because I was designing it. Let's see. So I'll show you how I did some of the highlights. I'm holding this down and it matches that color up for you. So now I know what color I had, and now I'm going to make it lighter because I want this to show up as a highlight. And instead of doing white, hello. Oh, Susan. It is. Hi, Crystal. It is an app called Procreate. Hi, Zoe. Zoe, online classes are perfect for this. Are you talking about hand lettering like in person? Where are you, by the way? You got an iPad for Christmas, Maria. Yes, an Apple Pencil. Make sure you... Okay, you do have the Pro. Yeah, make sure... Ask them what pencil you should get. Good for you. That's exciting. Okay, so again, I'm just doing some highlighting here. Those little details, y'all, make all the difference in the world. I have a problem with stopping stuff. I think, oh my gosh, it needs this, it needs that. Like this right here looks, where these two meet looks so plain to me, I couldn't leave it like that. Like I would have to do something, whether it be a line around here. That's kind of big, but I would have to do something. I can't stand that. And then I also went ahead and did some highlights on top of that too, like that. So see, the details make all the difference. And in the background, I could always do, let me start a layer at the very bottom and do something in the background on here. Let's see. Here's a dry brush. We could try that and see what it looked like. See that dry brush? Can you see that? And the more I do it, the thicker it gets. It's just like you're really painting. Isn't that neat? So if you wanted it to have that texture in the background, you could do that. Yeah, I don't see how you do it without the pencil. Do you do it with your hands or what? Anyway, I'm just like I have a paintbrush in my hand. That cool? If I want to delete some of it, I can just delete or erase, I mean. Or I could just go back. And let's say we want to do that same thing. Instead of doing white, we want to do... I'm very much into monochromatic colors with shading and stuff, so I'm going to take that same color family. I'm holding this down. And then I'm going to open the color wheel. I'm going to make it darker, but the same family, okay? And then, let me make it bigger so you can see it good. And then see how it's more subtle. You see that there's texture there, but it's not as screaming white as it was. Hi, Jill. You know, Jill, there's so many things you can do with it. You can make flyers. You can make invitations. You can make birthday cards. You can make digital art and just post it. Like a lot of people on Instagram, when you see some really pretty different scriptures and things, this is a lot of, if it looks like almost, you know, like it has this look to it. I don't know what you call it. Graphic, I guess. Then you know they created it on a computer. But you think, how did they get that on the computer? I don't understand how they get that font or how they do it like that. And a lot of it, if you'll start paying more attention now, a lot of it is using a program like this. Oh, girl, I don't know how you use your hand. That's hilarious. But, I mean, you do what you gotta do, right? Oh, Lisa, you're so sweet. Thank you for saying that. But I do, Zoe, have online classes. She's from South Carolina. Okay, so I love mixing fonts, so we'll just delete, not delete, but I'm gonna close all these out. And I love mixing fonts, so I'll just do some more hand lettering for you and work on my scripture. That other background really worked good. I need to see what backgrounds are gonna work better for y'all. I don't know how well that one's gonna show up. Red doesn't always do great on camera. I'll just do this dark one. Okay, and I'm going to turn it back this way. I'm going to do a scripture here. But yeah, you could just print something out. Whatever you make, you can just print it out. So I was showing earlier, this is something I designed on there. I printed it out. And then this, some of y'all were with me this week, this calendar I printed out and just glued it in here. If you weren't here earlier, this is pressure sensitive, so when I press down, it gets thick. And when I lift up, thank you, Jill, it goes lighter. So it works just like a brush pen. Now, if I get here and I'm not sure about the word loved, how I want to do it, I made a new layer, so it'd be easy to move. And so I can just move it and put it where I want it. But I'm pretty happy where it was, so I'm just going to keep it there. For God so loved. And this is where I'm going to change my font. So since the is just a little word, I can stick that in just about anywhere. So I'm going to do world really big. So for God so loved the world. And see how I can go back in here. I will probably change my pen. And I can just fit the in here easy. So see how you can mix fonts, which it actually looks really good when you do. I should have mixed more of them. And then make sure you go back to whatever marker you were using. For God so loved the world. And see how I'm going to run out of room, but I don't have to run out of room because I can take all these layers, put them together, and make this smaller. Try to do that on paper, right? I love paper too. For God so loved the world that he gave. I'm going to do he, because that's a really important word. I'm going to make it big. But the rest I'm not. For he gave. Which is, they're all important words, aren't they? That he gave, whichever version you use. I'm going to fit that in there. Can y'all see okay? I hope so. That he gave. That he gave. Thank you for the hearts, y'all. It's so sweet. That he gave his. And this one, I'm going to make it more print-like. And then I have space here, so I can either balance it all out, or I can do some little embellishing. I could do, I know I haven't finished that, so y'all don't be stuck in that. But I could do some like little, whatever these are called, to kind of balance everything out. Accents, flourishes. I think they're called flourishes. So see how you can do that. Let me go back to what I was doing now. Change back to my brush. For God so loved the world that he gave his only son, that you can always go back and do all the little ones together, but for God so loved the world that he gave his only son. Uh-oh. What'd I do? This is where I might want to get my little drawing guide back out. I mean, I'm not going for perfectly straight. Just kind of helps you get with the little guide. You'll have to tell me if I misspell something. Hey, girl. Welcome, welcome. Ooh, I only have 5 minutes left. Alexa, set timer for 5 minutes.
5 minutes, starting now.
Almost there. Jill, thank you. God to love the world. Lots of practice. To love the world that he gave his only son, that whoever believes in him. There's so many versions. I'm trying to not go way off. Whosoever believeth. For God to love the world that he gave his only son, whoever believes in him. I hope the grammar police isn't here, because who knows if I'm getting all this right. Whoever believes in him should not This is a lot longer than I thought it was. Your Alexa set for you? That's hilarious. I know, she's always doing crazy stuff, but I guess she likes my voice too, huh? Whoever believes in him should not perish, but have. I'm going to do smaller. Meh. That's why I like to go back in and fill in these smaller ones later, because I can make them work, whereas the bigger ones I like to have more space for them. So I'll show you what I mean right here. Another thing that I do with these, y'all, is I make script. Well, I've told you. Oh, your mom's favorite scripture. This is the first scripture I ever learned and memorized. But like this right here, I could make a scripture card out of. You know, make it really small. And so in my Etsy shop, I've been doing that for years. And that's another thing that I use it for. I'm gonna make the whole thing just a little bit smaller, and then we'll be done. Or if I add more to it, I'll show y'all. I'll have to post it later. The Apple pencils are about $100, I think. And so I'm going to write small right here. Okay, John 3:16. There we have it. Let me take off the guides. And first generation is 99, second generation is 129. There you go. Alexa, stop. Anyway, so here it is. Again, for me, I can hardly leave stuff alone. I'll go back and add some details, probably do a shadow behind it and that kind of stuff. But just to give you an overview of what you can do on an iPad Pro, there you have it. And I just one more time want to remind y'all to join the Be the Light Lettering Tribe. Down at the bottom, I've pinned the link. Go see the details. It's $27 a month, and you can cancel anytime. So we'll love to have you. It's going to be fun. I'm just going to do all kinds of stuff to get you excited about lettering. And also we're going to focus on Jesus. So anyway, thank y'all so much. Y'all have a blessed evening. And I hope you enjoyed the demo. Bye.